Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I'm going to share with you a clip from a recent live event. Myself and Golden Skeeter are hanging out, and we're actually talking about the new summoners from Rebellion. We're talking about first summoner tactics, but then we're actually getting into dual element summoners and how game changing that's going to be. It's going to be a whole new adding to the new player experience or to the player experience because it's totally transforming the battle. Like, how do you choose? What partnerships are there? Which synergies used to work? What is the meta? How does summoners partner with monsters? It's all going to be turned on its head because one summoner can play two splinters. It's huge. It's amazing. I'm excited. Stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe. Have an amazing day. God bless. Dual element summoners, which is so crazy. Let's talk about that for a minute, Skeeter. Dual element summoners is going to create some partnerships that are so different than the way we play the game right now. Hey?
Oh yeah, totally. Those seem really cool. Really interested in those, especially, to give one of your guys shield. It's just such a cool mechanic, the one they showed out. It's like you want to give one character shield. It's like, well, that is to counter the sneak meta right now. Because everyone's gonna hit you in the back with physical, and now you can give them a shield to take half physical damage. Could be like totally game breaking against like Michelia meta right now, and like even like Deep Worker and stuff like that too. It's like, oh, you have like the Wave Brood, which has Void Taunt for blue, and he only has the Void for the magic damage reduction, and then you can give him the physical damage reduction. You're like, oh, he went with a sneak heavy team or archer heavy, so now I'm going to give my Wave Brood the shield and the Void, and that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like, you're talking about the what do they call that? They call them, what? There's a word for this.
Like I call it like a pre-game action. That's what they kind of call it in Magic.
Yeah, pre-game action is super like on point. But they do have a tactics. Summoner tactics is what they're calling it. And so you look at the board and you can, if your summoner is one of these summoners that has the tactics ability, you can implement shield. You can implement a nerf to their archery. They even talked about in the pre-sale launch party, which they held on the YouTube Splinterlands channel. They talked about how it's conceivable these abilities might be like to apply items and spells might get to a place where you can apply poison to a certain monster, even on your own team. And so that you can, for imagine you want your martyr to die. Well, you could just drop a poison on him like before the game starts. It sounds, it might be counterintuitive. You're like, why would I do that? But of course the martyr is that important, and it can be, you just make sure it happens.
Or you give someone enrage. You proc it and rage it off at the beginning, and then you get like a super trample rule set with the demon shark or whatever.
That's right.
And you can just get your enrage going like turn one, and that sounds pretty powerful too.
Totally. Yeah. So the amount of creativity that's going to come out of this new summoner mechanic is absolutely game changing, which means that this deck is game changing. But more than that, because that's not exactly the same topic. There's the tactics that we were talking about there, but there's also like dual element is like a totally different side of that, because it's like if you can bring in water monsters with death monsters under the same team, that is such a different way of playing the game. And that's part of it, right? That dual element summoners give you access to twice the cards when creating a team. Prepare for mind bending strategies as you blend two different elements together. That there are ways that could break the game. So I don't know how well they planned it. They did talk about, I forget who it was, but it's not really Matt in charge of that anymore. And it sounds like they went through a real thorough sort of planning process on this, but this is huge, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, just take the blue and death example as you talked about. You bring in the Protect with the Zanari Wavesmith, and now you can bring Radari Guardian. And you can have a healer and a repair, and you can put a taunt up or 3 taunts up or whatever, and you can just protect your 1 DPS to go off.
Yeah, look at this with those 2 splinters. These are the taunts available to you. You got Wave Brood in the back. You put Dark Juan or Kraken up front. Night Ghoul, if you want to just play modern, like even these 2 were there for longer than these 2 will be. And then let's see. With the death, you don't have a lot of tank heal, but with the water, you do. So look at this, like You know, just there's so amazing tanks on the death team, but they really lack the tank heal side. Well, I guess Crustacean King is super old, but you got Merdali Guardian, like you say, Albatross for at least the next little bit. Actually, this is rolling out as soon as Rebellion gets in, is it not?
But yeah, you get the Color Lurkle too that you can play 3 taunts and
Yeah.
then like double triage and
Wow.
Merdali Guardian and just see how that goes.
Yeah, triage is another good call because again, death doesn't really have much of it. They just have the Theorosa, and then there's resurrect, and I know that death has one resurrect with the ancient light. I guess they got the astral entity too, but now 2 resurrects. I mean, this is so different. This
Oh
is
yeah, with
absolutely
Baron
going to change it.
Rivendell. Yeah, Baron Rivendell, you can get more resurrects out. You can get like a triple resurrect with that Legionnaire Alvart, and then they have to go through like 30 void armor.
That's wild. 30 void armor. So this is all to say that I really believe this is absolutely game changing. And one of the things we've been calling for a long time is more like new player experience and improvement to new player experience. I would argue that creating a new set that radically changes the game mechanic, creates a lot of new thoughtfulness and I guess room for in like a whole. This is like a whole new level. It's like this sort of expansion isn't just, hey, there's some new cards that's interesting. It's also a totally revised gaming experience, from the summoner tactics to the multi-color summoners, even to the new abilities and all of the new synergies that are going to come out of that. To me, that is like an offering to a new player experience. Like it's an improvement in the game itself. I never really hear people say that, but that's how I feel about it, at least.
Oh yeah, no, a new expansion freshens everything up so much. And I've had to take multiple breaks from the game to keep the game fresh and enjoyable for me. They want me to keep playing. So I've taken multiple breaks that are like 1 to 3 months long. So I would recommend, if people are getting burned out Chaos Legion, just take like at least a couple of weeks off and wait for this new set to come out.